Alright, people, we just gonna get started and just get all into this. You pretty much know who I am. You can hear my voice, and not to mention the fact I am hoarse because we have just left Wrestlemania. I am in the car with my homeboy D. Yeah, the infamous D that we always talk about. And yes, lady, he is single.
Yes, I am.
And me! Yes! The girl that gives me 300 views for all my Wrestlemania reviews. It's Tamagirl. What up with? AKA Shanitia. Alright, y'all. Now, I know that everybody have noticed that Wrestlemania ended pretty early. Like, it ended at 10:45. And from what I've heard from some of the people I've talked to, as well as some of the reports, is that we actually had 2 cancellations. And as well as no cash, no money in the bank that was cashed in, and no Cena heel turn. So, all in all, we're just going to get started with some of the matches. And we really don't know what happened with the match that was the interactive pre-show because we were in a bar. But from what I heard, The Miz won. So, does anybody care?
Crowded ass, those stupid people on
Not really, man.
Just sit there like, can you? I'm like, now in tables when people sitting 2 to a table, got two empty seats. Management could have at least said, "Excuse me, are you using these 2 seats? Do you mind if some people come sit at your table?" No, they had us sitting up there waiting, like, cause they said, "Oh, we're waiting for tables to get free." Now you know they came for WrestleMania. You think anybody gonna get up and leave? No.
Honestly, if you hear Shalithia back there, she's not necessarily talking about the matches. It's because of the overcrowding of the bar.
Oh, I ain't got the matches yet. I'm talking about the pre-stuff. Because I was sitting over there, I was hungry. I was waiting, my back hurting, my feet hurting, and they sitting there talking about they gonna sit up there and we gotta wait for a table to get free. In Wrestlemania. But I have some awesome friends, and they had a table, and they let us sit there. Yay!
Yeah, I will admit that her friends did save the night. And if we go in and out, it's because it is dark, and, well, that's the reason why. But anyway, the one that, let me see, what was the first match of the night, if I can remember?
What's the first match?
Yeah, it was a 6-man tag. The 6-man tag with Sheamus, Sheamus, Randy Orton, and the Big Show versus The Shield. Honestly, I'm happy that The Shield won.
No, boo.
I am, because let's face it, they need a good faction. WWE needs a good faction. Because let's face it, the Aces and Eights, when it comes to the Aces and Eights in TNA, Aces and Eights were feared. Nobody gives a crap about The Shield. There's only 3 people that really even know the Shield was even in existence, let alone cared if they were doing anything to WWE. While the Aces and Eights were dominating TNA, and people feared them.
Why is Aces and Eights dominating? Because they have people, not 3.
3 little people.
They had people, but they had people and anonymity at one time. They don't have it no more.
But you got 3 little people that's sitting there walking around like mall cops. Ooh, I'm gonna be scared because it's just 3 people.
But think
about it. Aces and Eights in TNA, they attack everybody. They don't just attack one group of people. They attack everybody. Whether you're good, heel, bad, whatever. They attack everybody. Shield only attacks one group of people. And that's all the good guys. That's why nobody likes the Shield. Forget the Shield. They suck.
Thank you.
Forget them.
I agree.
Now, if they attacked everybody, whether good or bad, it'd be different.
Cause see,
and if they had more people, it'd be a lot better. But no, forget
that. My whole thing is,
I
want to see them 3 sit up there and try to jump on Mark Henry.
Ain't no way in here.
Really? No, for real. I want to see them do that. You think that's gonna happen? No. Or Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
no, that's not gonna happen.
Now, if they supposed to be so big and bad and they can handle whatever, they should be able to do that.
Exactly.
That ain't right.
Not going to.
That's
Wrestling
discrimination.
discrimination. Wrestling discrimination.
Well, I mean, the thing is like, I really want the Shield to become a little bit more powerful in the WWE. Maybe they actually get their point across and say beat one of the biggest faces. And not to mention the fact that the Big Show went back to being a heel again, which makes me even happier, because I did not want him to be a face again. I wanted him to go back heel because he was dominant.
Oh, no, reason why he did that is because Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because Randy Orton got a freaking ego. We all know that he has an ego, and he will never change his ego, and he's better off being a heel, but why get into that debate? We already know.
The thing is, I'm sorry, the man is 6, and he can be as jerky as he wants,
but he's not a face. He'll never be one. Dang.
But he's sexy.
car
and
wreck.
that's all that matters. Is that he's sexy, and yeah, he can sit up there. He can toss me around any day.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Rain.
And what was the next match after that? Shoot, I ended up lost track. What it wasn't a heavyweight championship match. What was it? Dang.
It wasn't
Tag team titles.
It was the tag team titles.
yes.
That,
And then after
see,
that was
that's kind of how messed up WrestleMania is. 'Cause we can't even remember what match started when because they changed the lineup.
Well,
but the WWE titles was next. We'll get into that. Team Hell No versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. I honestly thought, okay, we all know that Team Hell No was going to win because, number one, Dolph had two advantages. He could either win the titles and have gold and lose the Money in the Bank briefcase, or cash in later for an even higher title, even if he loses the tag team champions. So regardless, it was all about Dolph. Who cares about Biggie Langston? It really didn't matter that much with him being involved. It was all about Dolph. So he had the highest advantage.
Yeah, again, he screws it up. And
Yeah.
loses.
That's true, but
He
I'm
sucks.
gonna be honest. That match I really did not care about Team Hell No. Let alone, even though I love my Kane, I miss my barbaric Kane that literally scared the crap out of people.
Go face.
That set people on fire. You know, I miss that Kane, and I really did not care at all about that match. Like, period. I could care less. That's how memorable it was not.
Go face.
Yeah, go. Oh gosh, when he's gonna shave that beard. It was not a good match at all. But the worst match that really disappointed me, and I think this was probably the worst match of the night, and I don't know whether or not y'all are gonna agree with me, but I really do feel it was Fandango versus Chris Jericho. That was the worst match of the whole freaking night. I was so disappointed because it was Chris Jericho. We all know that any match that Chris Jericho's in is good and memorable. But Fandango couldn't wrestle to save his freaking life. He had to have his hand held throughout the entire match. And he messed up every move he ever did. And Chris Jericho did his best to correct it. And he still screwed it up. And he won over that? I was so disappointed.
Turn the light on.
It's
He's still talking. I mean, I was so like freaking disappointed. Seriously, probably one of the worst matches of the whole night.
I hate it.
I
don't want to talk about it.
And seriously, I don't think anyone wants to talk about
The guy's
it.
name is Fandango. He dances coming out to the damn ring.
And cock-a-doodle-doo.
I don't want to talk about it. Like JBL said, he pranced around in the ring.
Yes, he did.
Pretty
What
much.
the hell are you doing? Exactly. But why are you prancing in the ring? It's a freaking wrestling ring. You wrestle, you fight. You don't prance around in there, dance with some little chick. No. I'm done.
But you gotta admit, his entrance was kind of hard.
No.
I love the entrance.
Now,
I'm
granted,
sorry.
I like the girls because they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and I kind of want to learn how to do what they were
But
doing.
I would rather for him
It's
just
a
to
wrestling
walk out.
event. Why do you
Yeah.
have dancers? You don't need dancers. What are you, Apollo Creed?
No.
The Italian version of Apollo Creed?
No.
Maybe.
He'll never live up to be that good.
You're right, he won't. He damn sure won't.
Oh
But I mean,
gosh.
hell, Apollo Creed had dancers coming out to the boxing ring when he was fighting Drago.
Living in America.
But that was different, you know. He didn't have like the whole salsa. What was it? Salsa, flamenco. I don't know what kind of dance that was.
Whatever the hell it is.
But yeah.
was unnecessary.
Oh gosh. And
I mean, now, like, if he would have came out and he would have, like, I mean, if he's gonna come out and he gonna dance, I'm gonna need him to do Paso Doble or flamenco. I mean, something that's aggressive.
Dancing with the Stars.
No, but I'm just saying something that's aggressive, something that shows his manhood. That's supposed to show him that he's tough, not whatever the hell that little tiptoe walk thing. That shit was bullshit.
He would have been better off doing a spinneroonie, taking it from Booker T.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, I would rather for him, even if he would have came out in Roomba or salsa.
Oh
or samba,
gosh.
A pop locking like R-Truth.
You know, something. But I'm gonna need you to do something that says, you know what, even though like I'm tough, I'm sexy, and you know I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care about I don't care if I'm dancing. I'm dancing, but I'm coming out here and whoop your ass.
See, it would be good if he actually could pull anything off, but he ain't pulling nothing off tonight. He had to have his hand held throughout the whole match.
Punch harder than he did.
Oh gosh, but like this match really gave me a headache, and I was so pissed off after it ended, and I just don't even want to talk about it. It's up there in my top 10 worst. Like I'm gonna have it's over Jerry Lawler. Like I didn't think anything could be over Jerry Lawler, but yes, Chris Jericho versus Fandango is my top #1 worst match in WrestleMania history. Period. It even trumps Jerry Lawler for WrestleMania 27.
Better to sit up there and
gosh.
I can have you grant
I got 2 matches to rant about now, but let's move on to another match that's a little bit more pleasant, I guess. Let's talk about the streak, shall we? Now, I've already mentioned in my videos many times how I really felt like CM Punk was a random guy to be put in this match, and he was a random guy to even have anything involved with The Undertaker, period. But I have to say, it was not bad. It wasn't better than WrestleMania 28, and it definitely was not better than WrestleMania 27. It was meh, at least, but it was still okay. Like, it wasn't bad. I have to say, the atmosphere that we were in, the bar kind of made it a little bit better and easier to swallow, but the match really was stale.
I mean, well, think about it. Look who he was up against, CM Punk.
Yeah. CM Punk was not a worthy opponent for Undertaker at all. Like, he didn't have a move to finish him off. Like, the only way we all know that he goes for the Anaconda Vice out of either hatred for that person or desperation. And he did it out of desperation and still could not finish the deal.
I mean, hell, the Undertaker sat up in the Anaconda Vice.
Right.
Who does that?
Sat up,
True.
turned his head, looked at him, and was like, what?
Yeah.
Who does
what the
that?
fuck do you think you're doing?
Yeah, seriously.
Who does that? Who sits up in the Anaconda Vice and then stands and turns their head and then powers the way out of it?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, literally, that look that he gave him was,
like, that's your ass now.
For real?
That's your ass.
Like, you realize you done piss me off now. I mean, not like my level of passivity is like out
through the roof. It was through the roof.
You gotta die now.
And exactly what he did.
You gonna die?
What he did.
You gonna die? I'm gonna bring you back, and then I'm gonna kill you 3 times harder than I killed you the first time. I really don't like you. You like that?
The first tombstone he gave CM Punk, that one was kind of out of instinct, and it didn't have that much impact as the second one did, or as any other tombstones that he does.
No,
because he came off the rope, grabbed him, and then he was in full motion coming off the rope when he picked him up, and he just kind of just dropped and fell with him. But the second one,
but that first one was like this a warning.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Because
think about it, every time he does it, when he puts you in the tombstone, he jumps up and then comes down. He didn't do it at the first one. The second one, he jumped up, came down, put him down, and that was it.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. I mean, I'm not going to completely hate on that, but I can't say that this match, CM Punk should not have been chosen at all. It just sounded like they had to find somebody for The Undertaker. And we knew that he was going to be 21-0, and that really wasn't any surprise at all. But I have to say that the last 2 WrestleManias really did almost give you a stroke, because you had no idea what was going to happen.
True.
And it was really unpredictable.
Now, granted, CM Punk held his own because he is CM Punk, and he can hold his own in the ring.
Yeah, he can. That's why I think I can say it, but not to The Undertaker.
I'm sorry, Undertaker Undertaker hurt him.
He put a freaking hurt on him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know he
damaged him too.
Granted, now every time Undertaker tried to do something, CM Punk had a counter for him because he studied the tapes. But
he ain't studied hard enough.
Nope.
Because
in the end, he let it get to his head, and think he got the Undertaker and tried to do the Undertaker's move against the Undertaker. Now he did do one move against him. That was the
mean mark tight walk.
Tight walk.
Yeah. The old school.
Yeah.
But still couldn't pull the old school off.
But even when he did that, he still couldn't do it effectively.
Nope.
Because Undertaker's arm is so much longer. He was grabbing it like by the wrist, so even when he jumped down, it wasn't enough force to really yank it, because he still had too much arm there.
Exactly.
So it was like a little kid tugging on your arm.
That's all it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
nonetheless, it was an okay match.
I mean, it wasn't horrible, but CM Punk was just random when it comes to this. But let's go into a match that was like probably the funniest match of the night. And I to this day can't stop laughing thinking about it. Ryback versus Mark Henry. It was probably the funniest match I've ever seen.
No, that was the second match, actually. I'm sorry. That was the second match.
That was the second match of the night, but I'm telling you, it was the funniest. It was like when Ryback tried to pick up Mark Henry, he was like, yeah!
I got it!
His body was saying,
oh no!
He picked him up. He picked him up with ease.
He was like, yeah, I got him up here.
Mark grabbed the ropes, and he couldn't pull him off and still keep his balance.
He was like, yeah!
He was like,
His body was,
Manise, I'm going down!
it was like his body was saying, no!
He said it. His face said it.
Saying,
yes!
I could not stop laughing. Because it was like, yes, bam! His whole body just came out. And I couldn't stop laughing. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And he kept, but the thing is, like, he ended up doing it again, like picking him up and marching around again when he lost. I'm like, dude, why come you didn't have that energy when you were winning? Like, when you were actually performing? How come you couldn't do that then?
He had to have a private conference with his knees now. He had to make sure that all systems would go.
Oh,
like, all right, now, look, we did a counter right last time. Now this time I'm gonna need you to sit up there and work this out. We gotta work this out because we gotta get him up and we got to do this.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, I could not stop laughing at that match. I still can't stop laughing after that match. That match was hilarious. Oh my word. Oh. but still, I mean, they still had a couple of tricks up their sleeve, and it's a given that.
Nope, they weren't.
Dang, he was going jet by. Seriously, I could not stop laughing after that. But honestly, the match that was supposed to be, it's like I really expected the entrances to be cooler. Like, the only one that had the coolest entrance was the Undertaker. And the Undertaker, seriously,
because at least he had
living color. He had living color there. So yeah, the CM Punk and the Undertaker probably had one of the best and probably only entrances there. Because honestly, he had like people coming out like the Living Dead. Like when you have people grabbing you like the Living Dead, that's like freaking awesome. I'm sorry, that's awesome. And then you had Living Color. Probably one of like the first. Well, they were the first black, like, African American rock band, and I think in history. And having them there was like awesome, and that's like one of my favorite bands. And they were the only ones that went all out on their entrances. Nobody else really cared. I mean, you thought that The Rock would come out with something cool, but he didn't come out with anything cool at all.
Well, he did last year.
Well, still, I mean, it's WrestleMania. You come out with a bang. He got the money. Like, he can pay for it.
Cena almost come out with a doggone marching band every year.
Gosh.
So,
Cena,
like,
when he was in Atlanta, Cena came out with a gospel choir. And then what did he come out a year after that? He came out with the, what was it? He came out with FAMU. He came out with FAMU's marching band.
I think it was, yeah.
And I mean, you would think that he would go all out, but he really didn't. No one did. And I'm like, really? Is the economy that bad for y'all? Like, seriously. Y'all should have money. But regardless of that, they had two main matches up their sleeve. And I guess the match before that was Triple H's match versus Brock Lesnar. I have to admit, good grief, that was a good match. I'm not going to lie. That was the match of the freaking night. Like, I didn't really expect that match to be good because we've already seen it before. But I'm not going to lie. I have never been more crunk watching that match. Then Lesnar freaking almost got his arm broke. He started bleeding before the match even started.
He should have had it broken.
Oh my gosh. Seriously.
Thank you, Triple H. And thank you, Shawn Michaels.
He
Thank you
should've
for
worked
that
on
beautiful sweet chin music that Paul Heyman really deserved.
Seriously, that was a really good match. I mean, had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I was really, I mean, it started off kind of slow as molasses the first time, but then it really did pick up, and it was like a really, really good match to watch, and I was like, wow.
And the Spanish announcer table
did not break until Brock Lesnar did it.
Made it to almost the end.
For the record, I told you it was going to happen during Brock Lesnar's match.
Yeah, you did. You called it. You called it, man.
I did say that.
I mean, with CM Punk went into it with an elbow. A flying elbow didn't break.
Off the top rope.
Off the top rope. Everybody's trying to make that table break, and it broke for Brock. Only Brock can make that thing break.
Because Brock and Triple H had weight.
Yeah, that's true.
That was like with CM Punk, even though he jumped and everything else, that was like putting a feather on top of.
Plus, Brock Lesnar was a freaking beast. I mean, he had to lose like several pounds. I mean, good grief, he was
20 pounds.
He lost at least like
because
he lost a lot of body fat.
Almost down to 0 now.
Yeah, I mean he looked like a freaking beast, and he like he's just nothing but muscle now. Like with probably like less than 5% body fat, maybe probably less than that. He was cut.
Yeah.
He was sickly cut. Like, oof. Like, I would never want to tangle with anybody that size. I'll be afraid that he'll break me. But
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, he probably would. But
but my bad.
The match of the night. The match that everybody waited for. Yeah. The match that everybody had their predictions on, that John Cena was going to go
versus
The Rock. You wish. But it's like, everyone predicted that this guy would go heel. No, he did not go heel. John Cena versus The Rock. Why did he go heel?
And I was the referee.
Why did they tease a heel turn but never delivered? Like, really? Why tease us like that? John Cena would really be a cool heel. And it would be a completely different gimmick from what he's doing now. I'm not hating on John Cena. He's definitely a true babyface, which is what he's supposed to be. But honestly, why tease us with a heel turn and never give it, never deliver it? You've already canceled 2 of our matches on us. And yes, I am hating on that because you cut WrestleMania in half. For those that actually did pay $60, I am sorry for you. I really am, because it wasn't worth $60 if you didn't get your full money. You didn't get your full money's worth. You got 2 matches that were taken from you. You got nobody that cashed in. You got no heel turns. You got no surprises. I would have went out to the bar and had a good time. At least had a few drinks. Seriously, that's what I would have done. But I know that you probably thinking different because you're shaking your head.
I mean, WrestleMania actually ran its full course. It starts at 7, ends at about 10:45, quarter 12.
Because
it always does.
Quarter 11.
Quarter 11.
I mean, yeah.
But didn't it end like at 11:30 like last year?
No.
Because I know it ended like it ended like before, at least 10 till before midnight. It had to end because I remember it didn't stop at 10:45, did it?
No, I think it ended right at 11.
Yeah, it went a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it's like, it really did feel like the WrestleMania sped really fast. Like, all the matches got done really quick. Well, not really, really quick. But there was some...
Quicker than normal?
Well, yeah, quicker than normal. I mean, it did feel like it was a little quick.
Flying.
Yeah, time really was. It wasn't that WrestleMania was horrible except for Fandango versus Jericho. And I'm not mentioning that again because I'm not going to rant. But, and Dee said we will not talk about it anymore. So we will not talk about it anymore. Right. But honestly, The Rock versus John Cena did start off really slow and sluggish and boring. But I have to admit, in the middle, it did pick up. And it did get interesting. And I can't hate on Cena because Cena gave mad respect to The Rock. And The Rock did push him to where he wanted to go. And he got there. And he made it. He's the new champ. And he gave him mad props at the end. I can't hate on that. I can't hate on that. You can't hate on John Cena for that. You gotta give him respect for the fact that this guy actually pushed him forward. You can't hate on John Cena for that. I don't give a crap what anybody in the YWC says about John Cena. You can't hate on him for that. Especially her, because she's like the biggest John Cena fan in the car.
That's my future baby daddy.
What you think of the match?
I mean, you summed it up. They started out slow, then it got interesting, and then of course, it got a little more interesting when they're going back and forth tit for tat. We're trying to count each other's moves and then hitting each other's moves, and that was it. I mean, it was an okay match once again. Wasn't nothing overly spectacular or spectacular at all. But in the end, you know, and once again I called it. I told you John Cena was going to win, and he did. And I also said Del Rio was going to keep his title, and he did.
Yep, and we didn't even talk about Del Rio versus Swagger, and I guess that was also a match that nobody really cared about. That match really was bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just really was kind of meh. Like they did all this hype about the whole Mexican gimmick, the whole we gotta bring our future America back from all the immigrants, and they did all this racist hype for nothing. Like seriously, it meant nothing by the end of the day. It really didn't. Jack Swagger still did not win. Del Rio still kept the title. It didn't matter. They hyped it up in that way for nothing.
I would rather lick ass than watch that match again. Lick sweaty, crusty ass than watch that again.
Just for the record, there's nothing wrong with tossing salad.
I know. It's fun. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, I would rather lick sweaty, nasty, funky ass than watch that match again.
Okay. Oh,
that's the difference. Because clean ass, okay, we can work that.
Okay. Nonetheless, the match sucks, so.
Oh, boy.
Yes, we are very random. Deal with it.
Yes. These are my friends, and they're just as random as me. But honestly, guys, leave your comments in the comment section below and send me a video response of what you think of how WrestleMania 29 ended up and whether or not you plan on going to New Orleans next year to see WrestleMania 30. Because honestly, I would love to go to New Orleans and actually see it. And I would love to go in the French Quarter, especially have a ball watching WrestleMania with these two people.
Hell, even just in New Orleans, not even at WrestleMania, just in New Orleans at a bar.
Yeah, that's true.
It would just be off the chain.
Oh, it will be off the chain regardless. It will be like really, really awesome. And then we'll be just like pounding. No, I probably won't be pounding hurricanes. I'll be watching y'all pound hurricanes. I'm a lightweight. But anyway.
That will be the fun part, to get you to pound them.
Oh, okay. But anyway, leave your comments in the comment section below. Send a video response of how you feel WrestleMania 29 was. I really think it was meh. It's not a pay-per-view that was worth the $60 price tag. It really did gyp people because they cut a lot of stuff out. And because it was also pretty fast. But either or, it was not that bad. But anyway, Nature Girl 30 signing off. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.